Well, Ryan, a wave of deadly explosions rocking Lebanon for a second straight day as more attacks are carried out against the militant group Hezbollah using personal devices like pagers and walkie-talkies. Today, Israel seemed to acknowledge a role, saying a new era of war is beginning. Today's explosions targeting handheld radios. Lebanese officials say at least 20 people were killed almost exactly 24 hours after simultaneous pager explosions killed at least 12 people. Exactly how these attacks were launched is still unclear. But according to the New York Times, explosives and a remote detonation switch were hidden inside a batch of pagers ordered from a Taiwanese manufacturer.
And this technology required for something like this really doesn't seem possible. It feels like it's from the movies. And joining us live now is Professor Ahmed Banafa, a cybersecurity expert from San Jose State University. Professor, can you tell us a little bit about what would be needed to do something like this on such a large scale and, of course, all at once?
Well, Ryan, you're right about it. This is something like a clip from Mission Impossible, and how they pulled all the strings and make sure that all of them really happening at the same time. There is a lot of elements here, a lot of moving parts. The technology, this is one thing, the human factor, the eyes on the ground, and the timing to just launch something like this. I mean, there is an explanation for what happened, which is, as you mentioned in the report, the Israelis, the Mossad is famous for that because they always post things like this. They're well, into that. They understand it. They are really trained in this. They intercepted some of the pagers because those pagers were ordered 5 months ago by Hezbollah because the series of this assassination, the high-profile assassination, happened. And then somehow the Mossad got a hold of it, and then they replace or they add some kind of modification, which will heat the battery. And the battery, once it's heated, is going to ignite, a small amount of explosive. It's about 20 grams. And this is why we see all these kind of impacts.
So pagers, and people are surprised to hear about pagers. They've obviously gone out of style here in the U.S., but what could be some potential reasons for a militant group or anyone else to use these lower tech devices as opposed to a standard cell phone? What happened here?
That's a very good question. It's that what happened is most of the high-profile assassination happened because Israel tracked down the high-profile targets through their cell phones. So what Hezbollah did is downgrade the communication into the pagers. I used to use the pagers, in the 1990s and 2000. It's a very simple, very basic device that deals with text and just symbols and exchange communications. Very simple. What happened here is, beside having those, this kind of act about having an explosive that will be, inside the device and the battery itself, they also penetrate the towers that will send the information to those pagers, and they have them done on a certain mode or a certain code where they send that code, and it's just, it just went to all those pagers at the same time. Because if they do it one by one, then the members of the militant group will understand this, and they're going to get rid of it.
And these attacks are believed to be part of a larger conflict raging right now in the Middle East. But is there any concern that criminals or other individual-backed actors could figure out how to do something similar on a smaller, more targeted scale? I mean, should we be worried about our own personal devices here at home?
Well, I mean, the thing about it is you have to understand that Hezbollah is compromised. There's a lot of, a lot of eyes of the Israelis inside, the territory. So when we talk about a plan like this, any person, any, well-established agencies, they will check for explosive. They'll check for anybody modifying this. They will check the company who really manufactures this and send it to them before they can use it. And this is a standard protocol because you are using this one for certain people or for the citizen. You have to make sure that nobody is compromising that. Now, whether other, militants or other groups going to take, this and have a copycat, we have to wait and see. But now everybody knows about it. So it's basically, it's just blow up, the cover in this case.
Well, always good information. Professor Ahmed Banafa from San Jose State, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Ryan.